Welcome back to episode 3, step 2 of our guide to creating your composable commerce architecture, where my colleague and commerce expert, Jamie Smith, will walk us through evaluating your existing landscape, including your team, technology, and communication plan. Let's tune in. So we have an understanding of that problem or the need or something we want to achieve or a new market we want to go into. How do we start thinking about the solution? I'm eager to get solutioning.
Whoa, Hannah, careful here. This is the biggest mistake people make, and specifically technologists make. All technologists want to get into that solution. They want to find out how you do it, how you plug it together. A bit like building the Death Star in Lego. They've got the Lego bits, let's get on with it. The problem in this, however, is that the quicker we jump into a solution, the more we miss the point. The more we don't evaluate key things in success. And this is the key here, not just about the solution, but successfully getting to a solution. So we have to evaluate, how ready are we? Now, how ready is our client? How ready is the team? What skills do we have? Where does the strategic partnerships come into this? Because it could be, in the new world we're in of composable commerce, too often we say, hey, microservices fixes the universe. Well, it's one component. In my experience with enterprise clients, they have diverse estates, and we'll talk about this a bit later. But when you really think about it, we've got to understand, who is our team? What is the IT estate we're working within, if there is one, because there may not be one to start with. And then say, how do we actually pull that together to be successful? Some simple examples. Many of the clients I work with today want to do it themselves. Why? Quite rightly, it's cost effective. They don't have to have a third-party implementer. But to do that, you've got to understand that to have a successful IT project, more importantly, in a composable e-commerce project, that you need to have strong program project management, strong business analysts and architecture skills. You've got to understand who the key people are responsible as executive owners, whether it marketeers, whether it merchandisers. Why is this key? Because too often in headless and in composable commerce solutions, we tend to look at the project in a fragmented way. The UX is over here, e-commerce in the middle, PIM is over there. The more we break these component parts out and give them to third parties and let them run with them, more often projects fail. There's clients I've worked with over the years who've done exactly that, and their projects have been over budget, they've taken longer than expected, and some of them have ended up getting canned. Why? Because there's too much fragmentation. So this discipline, this experience, this understanding and commonality of skills and ownership are critical. Leading into that, the IT estate is also key. Why? If we're going to a greenfield customer, it's easy. Why? They have nothing. They have no preconceptions. Their persona in their market and their journey is the most important thing. However, if we go into a large scale client and they say, hey, I've invested a lot of money and time in an ERP system or a CRM or a PIM, how do we maximize it? Well, it's not about the technology per se. It's about which bits do you see as strategic? Which bits do you want to get an increased return on investment on? So that leads us to being very, very clear before we get into the solution. What is the key communication plan across all parties? What are the escalation paths? And more importantly, who governs it? And fundamentally asking the question are, what do we need to do as a team? Now we've got the idea of the business plan. Now we understand the key players and shakers and movers and pieces of the technology strategic landscape. What do we need to do to accelerate it and make next steps happen?
Got it. That makes a lot of sense. So we kind of have to pump the brakes before we get into the solution, evaluate our team, what we have, what we might need in terms of a skill set, and then look at our technology, what we want to use, what we'd like to leverage. If you're ready to move on to step 3 of this 4-part process for creating your composable commerce architecture, click through to the next piece of this episode, where we talk about creating an ideal solution blueprint for your business problem. Hope to see you there.